All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Virtual Wholesaling Tribe, Jasmine Gittens here. I am so excited about tonight. We have Kyle Rogers here with Fox. He's going to be telling us some strategies for us to get seller leads. But first and foremost, I'm going to let you, Kyle, jump in. And I know we're going to have people rolling in as the night goes on, but go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me on here, Jasmine. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. So my name's Kyle Rogers. I am the administrator of the Facebook group marketing real estate investing leads. And we're a community of about 5,000 real estate investors that use different kinds of strategies to find motivated sellers.
Mm-hmm.
We actually use Facebook groups to tap into organic marketing and get motivated sellers coming our way for free. It's pretty cool. And we have a method to where we build teams around this that are commission based. Mm-hmm. And, it's something that sets us apart because a lot of methods out there are utilizing paid advertising. Mm-hmm. So this is a nice way to flip the switch and start out doing something that's a little bit more organic and that's easier to scale when you're a beginner.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again so much for coming. So let's get into it, right? So you talked about, obviously, with our virtual wholesaling tribe, right? We're wholesaling. We are looking for motivated sellers, right? That's like the backbone of our business, being able to have that inventory first and foremost. And a lot of people that are coming into wholesaling because they might not have a whole lot of capital. So you're coming in and you're saying that you have a strategy in which you and your team are finding seller leads organically on Facebook. So tell us a little bit about like what that looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. When I got my start, I was trying to do everything that I was taught. There was so many different methods out there that are kind of thrown around, and you can find a lot of them for free on YouTube. And when I got started, I was kind of getting my YouTube education, just kind of learning the basics. And I jumped full in. I burned the boats. I actually quit my job and I'm like, I'm going to go full into wholesaling. I didn't purchase a course. I didn't have a mentor or anything. I was just like, I'm doing this. I'm just going to learn by jumping in. And it was tough. I thought that it was going to be like the quickest way to financial freedom. And I didn't understand how much of a grind it could be if you weren't using the right strategies. Mm-hmm. And in the beginning, I was just kind of doing everything. I was driving for dollars. I was cold calling, doing direct mail. I finally realized that I needed a mentor. Right. I'm like, if I'm going to figure this out, I need somebody to show me the ropes. Yeah. So I got a mentor, and I was living in Portland, Oregon at the time. And this guy, he lived over in Provo, Utah. And he did flips there in Utah, but he also did flips over in Portland and Washington and kind of all over that region. Yeah. So he was doing it virtually. He was doing virtual rehabs and also doing wholesaling. So that's when I started to really learn, what it really takes to be successful in the industry. And he started fronting me the money for advertising. And we were spending $10,000 a month on direct mail.
Yeah.
And we went 4 straight months doing that. And we spent $40,000. And guess how many deals we got after that?
Oh my gosh. How many?
Zip. Not a single one.
I know.
Yeah. And I was just sitting there with my
all the time.
Yeah. I was ready to walk away after that. I was done. I was about ready to burn out. But some light bulb went off in my head. I was thinking, man, luckily I broke even. Mm-hmm. I don't owe money to this guy from how much money we spent on advertising. We were able to find a few deals, but all the deals we found were online. Some of them were from Craigslist. Some of them were from Facebook groups. So I thought, what if I go 100% into this? What if I go all in and I focus all my attention on this strategy? And when I did that, everything changed. We started having just this flood of leads coming in where they were coming to us. We weren't going to them. So the conversation is just so much warmer. It's like, somebody walking into your house versus you just knocking on their door cold. That's really the big difference. And when I
Mm-hmm.
discovered that, I went bigger when I figured out that I can go virtual and pick the best markets that worked for groups. So I
Yes.
went completely virtual, buying properties sight unseen. And then my wife and I went full time into our travel lifestyle. So we were traveling around the world for 6 months straight, living out of Airbnbs and just fit whatever we could own out in backpacks. And this is a
Yes.
couple of years ago when my daughter was 4. And now we're back and we're doing the full time traveling RV thing.
I
You can
love
see my RV
it.
over there right now. I'm in my Jeep Rubicon.
Oh my
And
God. We're going to actually have to talk after this because my husband and I are thinking about literally doing the same thing.
yeah, it's so much fun. I'll tell you
Yes.
what. And I got this Jeep so that I could flat tow, because it's one of the only automatic vehicles that you could flat tow and not have to worry about it. Flat tow means all 4 tires are on the ground.
Okay.
Right.
Got you.
And before we had a Ford Escape and we had to put it on a dolly, and that's super sketchy. With this, you can just tow it flat, and it's awesome for off-roading. We got a Rubicon, so now we're just traveling around and going to all these cool off-roading trails.
I love it.
We're in Colorado right now, and there's snow, so we're doing some snow wheeling. I got this winch on the front of it and this new bumper, so now we can pull ourselves out if we get stuck. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about virtual wholesaling, right? Like, you're not subject, and that's what I mean, of course, we're the virtual wholesaling tribe. So this is exactly what I teach. I mean, my husband and I were in Aruba last month. We're getting deals, right? So you don't have to be subject to just being in your market, being there physically. And virtual wholesaling doesn't necessarily mean that you have to wholesale 900 miles away. Hey, you absolutely can, but you can virtually wholesale even where you live. Like, the idea of it is like, you can do this completely remote, be home, be comfortable, COVID friendly, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All that good stuff. And tons of money. So you found this strategy where you're looking for sellers directly on Facebook groups and having them reach out to you.
Yes, exactly.
And then go ahead.
So I started doing this, and we moved to Europe. We flew into Rome, and then we're up in Turin, Italy. Then went over to Venice, and we were in Croatia. Then we were in Prague, in the Czech Republic, and then we ended it in France. And that whole time I was doing deals on the other side of the earth.
Wow.
And it was a trip because I would just work nights, right? Yeah. Because nighttime over there is daytime in the US. But I was able to do that and make a good income while I was doing it. And then I was talking about what I did inside Facebook groups, real estate investor groups, saying, hey, I found this cool strategy. I'm just kind of telling my story. And that's where our community was born. And that's where our Facebook really started to grow. Our Facebook group really started to grow because people wanted to learn about virtual wholesaling, these different strategies that we did for organic marketing. Now, this doesn't just have to be for virtual wholesaling or even just wholesaling. We have people within our community that do this for their own flips, to find deals for their own flips.
Yeah.
So
now when you find these sellers, like, are they, I mean, they're reaching out to you. Are you guys having phone conversations? Are you guys taking those leads and putting them into funnels and continuing to market to them through cold calling or through any other strategies? Or what's the game plan when these sellers reach out to you?
So it's almost like a bandit sign, a digital bandit sign. Think of that.
Gotcha.
And we're scoping out local groups.
Okay.
So we'll target groups based off of what market it is, what city it's in, and then we'll post up. We'll do the posts, and basically we're just coming off as just a neighbor looking for a house, some Joe looking for a house. You know, we don't want to act like a professional company, some hotshot real estate investment group. Like, that turns people off.
Yeah.
You just want to be real.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you do these posts, and then people are going to comment in the comments, and then reach out to them on Messenger and convert it from there. It's pretty cool. The types of groups that we hit would surprise you. We actually purposely avoid real estate type groups because in real estate, like investor groups, you're just going to find other wholesalers. You might find a bunch of JV opportunities, but you know, you're not really going to get any direct to seller.
Yeah.
And then just real estate for sale groups, you're going to get a bunch of agents. So we're purposely avoiding those groups, hitting up local groups I can't get too specific
Right.
with that, but that is what I can give you guys for
Okay.
now. And it's just, being real, searching around, not being spammy, not posting links.
Got you. Got you. So you're going in there, you're posting, looking for housing or something to that effect, where you, again, looking, seeming as though very relatable, not like a big business. And then you're having sellers just reach out to you and kind of build a rapport, build relationships, and then obviously get to the point where you're making them offers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some of these you'll be able to, with one Facebook account, you'll be
Mhm.
able to produce anywhere from 5 to 10 qualified appointments per week, right? From one Facebook account. So you start to build a team around this of commission-based appointment setters.
Mhm.
They're like bird dogs, right?
Yeah.
But they're using their own Facebook accounts to post in groups on your behalf.
Right.
So you get 5 or 6 of those going, and you're going to, sorry, I'm getting called on Messenger here. So you get like 5 of those going. You have 5 Facebook accounts going in groups all at once, and you only pay them once you get paid, because they're
Right.
commission based. So they get paid once the deal is done.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
So keep your operation costs low, and you're able to pay them well, because when the deal does get closed, you're going to pay them like 10%.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. And you're finding these people where?
I'm sorry?
Where are you finding these people? Are they they're in your Facebook group, on like Indeed? Are these virtual assistants? Local? Can you hear me?
So appointment setters that you're going to find are really people that are US based, for
Mhm.
one.
Mhm.
They don't always have to be US based, but it definitely helps, because the profile, you can tell where they're from. Sometimes the seller's going to go to their profile. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Sure.
So that helps. And then somebody with a sales background, somebody that's a hustler, an
Yeah.
entrepreneur,
Right.
even a wholesaler, somebody that is a newbie wholesaler that's
Mhm.
been at this, and they're just worn out.
Yeah.
They've
And
gone without a deal for 6 months,
yeah.
and they're ready to be part of a winning team and a winning process.
Yeah. So
And when they see
they're
the
just
type of results that we get, we help multiple investors hit 6 figures within a month or two.
love
And
it.
we get new testimonials every single week in our group, so it's pretty exciting stuff.
Yes, yes, indeed. And those the team of yours, they're, oh no, it looks like he might have went out.
No, I'm still here.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
trying to
Okay,
turn
okay.
up the audio.
So
For some reason, I can't hear you very well.
oh man. Well, we'll keep it going, guys. If you have any questions while we have Kyle on the line about generating free leads on Facebook groups, please post your questions. We'll make sure that we get him to answer those questions for you guys today. So I want to know the group that you the team that you have. They're just generating these leads, and then you're talking to them, or are you having them qualify these leads first?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hop on video when I'm talking, and then pop off video when you're
Okay.
talking, so I can hear you. Does that work?
Okay, absolutely. We'll make it happen.
So, done beats perfect, right? Just move forward. So with my team, I have an organization set up.
Mhm.
So there's a chain of command. While I'm traveling around, I want to be able to not just have financial freedom, but time freedom too. I want to be able to enjoy the money that I'm making and not be working 80 hour weeks.
Mhm.
So what I have is I have a leadership team. And really, at this point, I just manage my managers,
Mhm.
right? So I manage the managers, and they teach and manage the entry level people, the entry level appointment setters.
Mhm.
So I've got 2 departments. On one side, I've got my sales department or acquisition department. That's one and the same. And the other side, I've got my administrative department.
Mhm.
So that's where certain tasks are going to be done that I can delegate, that are things that are slowing me down, that are taking my focus away from higher leverage tasks.
Right.
That's something that my administrative team's going to handle. One
Yeah.
of those things is recruiting. So
Mhm.
to recruit commission-based appointment setters every single week, to have fresh people coming in every single week, to have the opportunity to earn while they learn, I have my VAs do that. So they're posting in groups, they're recruiting for me. Then we bring all of those potential setters to a group interview. We tell them about the job. We explain that they're going to use their own Facebook account to market in groups. We say it's commission only. But then we get them excited about the opportunity and excited about the comp plan. And then we explain, anything else that they're confused on, and make sure that we answer all of their questions. And from there, we move them on to a one-on-one call, and then we train them up.
Love it.
So on the other side, on the sales side, we have the commission-based appointment setters. That's entry level. Those are the people that are just using their own Facebook account to post, qualifying in Messenger, and then setting the appointment with the acquisition manager. So that's the head of the department. The acquisition manager goes to the phone call appointments. So they're talking to the sellers on the phone, putting together the offers, negotiating, and getting the seller to sign on the contract. So they're bringing it all the way to completion. But they also act as a team leader. So they're going to help train and manage the setters and keep them accountable. So I've got a head of the department in acquisition, and then I have a head of the department for the administrative side, and then they're in charge of all the VAs.
Love it. Love it. I gotcha. Okay, cool. So let me ask you, you said that you get about, doing this method of marketing, that you guys are getting about 5 or so leads per week. Now, how do you identify a lead, right? Because of course there are people that are maybe say, I want to sell a house, but they're not necessarily motivated, right? So really getting to the KPIs and the key performance indicators of how long can someone expect to have to do this before they might find a deal? And how do you identify a lead?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lead it has to fit 3 different points. Number 1, it's not listed. Number 2, it's not under contract by another wholesaler. So it's not a JV opportunity. Right. Because those are a dime a dozen on groups. Those will distract you from the deal. And then number 3 is it's direct to seller, and they're ready to sell now. They're not ready to sell this summer. They're ready to sell right now. Right. So if it hits those 3 points, then it gets pushed through to the acquisition manager, and then they're going to spend the first 10 minutes building rapport quickly and getting down to the motivation. Why are you selling? Which from there, they make a decision if they're going to spend more time with that person.
Gotcha. Love it. And then the second part of that question, so how long, can someone expect to have, be doing this type of marketing before they might land a deal? And of course, I know that varies, but what has your, experience shown you?
Yeah. So for the most part, you're going to be about 2 to 3 weeks until you really get that lead flow going. Now, that being said, we've had people within 24 hours get their first deal. Right. And then just their first post, next day they tie down a contract, ended up getting $9,000 assignment fee. Love it. So it can happen quick. It's as fast as you can start posting in groups. Yeah. But you have to build your turf, right? You have to build your workable areas. And the way that you do that is join more groups. And it takes time to do that because you can't take too many actions on Facebook. And this is a writer downer. This one right here, what I'm about to tell you. If you want to stay out of Facebook jail and you don't want to be blocked from posting in Facebook groups, you're limited. Because Facebook it's called Facebook jail. And you could end up being blocked from groups for up to 2 weeks. And it's such a bummer. It can kill all of your traction. So you need to stay at the number 13. 13 actions. 13 posts? Post or join. Those both count as an action. So if you're going to do both in the same day, you join 6 and post in 7. Gotcha. And as long as you do that, you're kind of spreading them out, you're not power posting, you're good. You're in the clear, and you'll be able to get tons of results from that. Love it. 13. Okay, that's we're gonna remember that number for sure. That's very 13. Very important because we do we do similar marketing, but specific more so for the coaching business, right? So for our virtual wholesaling tribe coaching, we utilize Facebook groups and messaging, and even with the messaging, Facebook will put us in jail. Like if you do more than like 40, between like 40 and 50, 40 is a really good
number to stick with, like 40 DMs to like, people that you don't know.
Yep.
Facebook's like, all right now.
Yep. Yep.
So
yeah, they'll have you slow down.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So give us an example. We want to hear a success story on, one of these, you using this strategy, how it went for you from beginning to end.
Yeah, absolutely. So just last week inside my inner circle, we have 4 members all working on deals at the same time. They all got contracts at the same time. A couple of them were working on multiple deals at once, actually getting in contract and having buyers lined up. So that was super exciting. That's, our inner circle is really starting to pop off, and our clients are experiencing huge success in there. And I've, within my group, every single week, we're having new case studies and testimonials that we're posting, video testimonial stories of people having success with this method. A lot of them getting deals within their first 30 to 60 days.
Mm-hmm.
But one of my favorites is this kid from Venezuela. His name's Brandon Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And he grew up in Venezuela. He immigrated to the United States, and he was really struggling for a long time, just barely getting by. He discovered wholesaling, and he took his savings that he had, put it into this course to learn, and he wasn't getting any traction.
Mm-hmm.
Spent thousands and just wasn't working. The old methods that he was being taught. So he came to our program, and he had to borrow the money. He borrowed the money to get into the program.
Mm-hmm.
And within 30 days, it was under 30 days. I think it was like 27 days. He made over $100,000.
Wow. Wow. So he found this seller. It was a seller on one of these Facebook groups that was motivated. Got the deal.
Yeah.
Got the deal.
Yeah. So it was from 2 deals, 2 really big deals that got him to that point.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That is amazing. That is amazing. Yep. That is so awesome. And I know you mentioned, I absolutely love that, first of all, right? So a lot of our students write same exact thing. So it's so rewarding, like as coaches, right, to really, really see your students succeed, because in truth, like our success lies in their success, right? So when we see them winning, it's like, oh, it's so rewarding. So that's amazing. Oh, yeah. I'm so glad to hear that.
Impacts. I'm all about impacts.
For sure.
Because for me, I've already achieved success. I have time freedom. The next challenge is to help others achieve the same thing.
Absolutely.
Like that's what gets me amped up when people say, Kyle, you changed my life. You've helped me. You've helped me on this new venture. So impact's huge.
Yeah.
And so many people get caught up on being a lone wolf. And where you really start to get freedom is when you move from being a lone wolf and you move into doing work through people.
Yeah.
So you're not being an operator anymore. You're being an orchestrator.
Yeah.
You're doing work through others. You're leveraging OPW or other people's work.
I love it. And I love that you mentioned that too, because that's something that we teach in the virtual wholesaling tribe too, because so many of us have a perception, like you said, you're doing all the work and you're not ready to take your hands off certain things, but at some point to scale, right, you have to start delegating. And then another thing is, I think a lot of us have this perception of like, you have to have a ton of money to have a team, right? So like we teach as well, like you can create commission-based positions. There's a lot of creative ways to build your team, which is exactly what we teach too. So I love to hear that you also are teaching your students about that too. So that's phenomenal. And another thing I wanted to, one of the last things I wanted to ask you was, you mentioned finding these groups in hot areas, right? And actually, you might have seen we're running this 30-day. We're almost to the end of our 30-day wholesaling challenge, right? And on our first class, we talk about like determining your market, right? Like going into the hot markets, so that you know when you get this deal that there's a ton of buyers ready to grab that deal, right? So what's a criteria that you use to identify a hot market?
So for one, making sure that the market is moving and in motion. There's some markets that are being really affected by the aftermath of the shutdowns.
Yes.
And so you want to do your research there.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to your cash buyers, talk to your title companies, and see how things are going in that market.
Yeah.
Also, Google is your friend when it comes to looking for a market. Look at what are the top markets in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Look on anything that you have where you're able to see recently sold, whether
Mm-hmm.
that's PropStream or Zillow or Realtor.com. I wouldn't say ever go off of this estimate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this estimate is there; it's not very accurate. But if you could go off a recently sold, then you're going to be able to see a pretty good story of that market. You know, are there houses being sold? Are there a lot of houses being sold? Are they being sold for high value, or are they being sold for a lot less than what people are asking? So
Sure.
you kind of want to read the market. It starts to tell you a story when you're looking at those comps. And then also another big factor is groups, where if you're doing this virtually and you can find cash buyers anywhere, and you have the tools to find boots on the ground anywhere, then look at the markets that have the best groups, the most poppin' groups, and
Mm-hmm.
that will help you out as well.
I love it.
Don't go too rural though. Don't go out in the middle of
Right.
nowhere.
Right. I totally agree with you. Those are some amazing points that you brought up, Kyle. I mean, this is great. This was a wonderful, wonderful interview today. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come to the Virtual Wholesaling Tribe group and share this information with our members here, our tribe members. Guys, go make sure Kyle, we're going to make sure that we put the link to your group inside of this. We'll put this in the description and in the comments. So you guys go and follow Kyle's group, you know, reach out to him, friend request him, whatever. Make sure that you connect with him and his group to learn more about the strategies that he is sharing on Facebook, organic free leads, right? And different strategies that they are implementing. So Kyle, I want to thank you again so much. Do you have any last words that you want to share with our audience, and where, again, they can reach you at?
Yeah, just keep at it. You know, a lot of people, they'll sell themselves short and they'll give up too early. And for me, if I had done that, which I was close, I was super tempted, and I didn't. I just kept pushing forward, and one day things just click. And if you give up the idea of competition and being scared that somebody else is going to steal your business, and instead just look at squatting up with A players and finding people that can help you out, then you're going to go leaps and bounds further. Yeah. And again, my group is called Group Marketing Real Estate Investing Leads. I look forward to seeing you guys over there, and I appreciate it so much, Jasmine.
Absolutely, Kyle. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. You guys have a good one, and we'll be back next week.
See you guys.